I can't believe how excited I am to bring all this to you. This is like really bringing it all together. And I don't know, that my little kid inside is just, every time I do one of these videos, I'm just getting more and more excited to bring this to you. So thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Today, we're going to talk about how this impacts your prosperity. Now again, that's one of the ebooks that I have. So if you're stuck in that area, explore the product page. But for this video, we're going to look at how the 7 developmental stages impact your being able to even give thoughts about developing and attracting money. Like one of the things that I really had to confront was what I call my social worker's mentality. So I'd given form to a very acceptable way of bringing money, but when I wanted to really launch my desire to learn how to deal with big sums of money, I had a lot of inner work to do. So that was an area where I had to apply this same material that I'm talking about to my own life. In fact, I've applied it all to every area of my life. I think, breathe, live, eat the 7 developmental stages. I'm always looking at which part of me is triggered. And when I'm not being able to show up in the world the way that I want to show up, then that's the structure I use, and I use it because it's worked for me. I'm hoping that it offers something to you. With respect to money, you want to look at where you can give birth to your ideas. Where do you feel safe bringing money in? Where do you trust yourself? Trust is a big thing with prosperity. Where does it challenge your faith? Are you afraid that if you bring money in, then you won't be as faithful to your spirituality? How do you set boundaries? A lot of times people keep themselves in check by debting. They get sums of money and then they feel uncomfortable with that, and the way they set limits on themselves is they go back into debt. Somehow that debt keeps them honorable in a misdirected way. A lot of people have a lot of shame and guilt about money. That's the 3 to 6 year old. A lot of people try to keep up with the Joneses. That's that 6 to 12 where you want to fit in with your peers, you want to be the same. So if your peers have a BMW, you feel like you have to have a BMW. You don't know how to establish your own value system. So you feel self-conscious. That's that 12 to 15 year old. Or you feel rebellious. You get sums of money and you spend it without thinking. Or you're real restrictive with it. You're real rigid with it. And you hoard everything. You don't trust yourself at all. The 17 to 21 year old is going to be balanced. You're going to have the masculine part of you that really is confident and knows how to cope with large sums of money or whatever your comfort level is. But it's the feminine part of you that's going to give birth to the ideas of how do you bring it in. So the EFT sequence today, again, check the worksheets because those are going to give you a lot more information for this EFT. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to get you comfortable with looking at your finances and your prosperity goals from this perspective. So I invite you to join me. Even though I've had a lot of challenges with respect to attracting the abundance I desire, I am now ready to do the work that will ensure my ability to succeed. So even though I've had a lot of challenges in this area, and I have a part of me who, for whatever reason, is scared for me to move forward, I now choose to do the work that it requires. Because I deserve to have the abundance that I choose. I'm willing to assess and explore where my infant is scared and doesn't trust or feel safe. I'm willing to explore how my inner toddler may not trust me, the adult self, in setting appropriate boundaries with the abundance that I do attract. And I'm willing to work with that inner 3 to 6 year old who may, for whatever reason, not feel comfortable with attracting abundance, may have all sorts of judgments based on shame or having been blamed or old family rules. That conscious or unconscious part of me who holds on to the lack, I am now willing to neutralize his or her fears and to look at the 6 to 12 year old who holds fears about being judged by my peers. I will embrace him or her, and I will deal with the self-consciousness of the young inner teen, the rebelliousness of the adolescent, and explore what his or her truth really is, so that I can step in to my masterful self, my abundant self, and allow myself to receive the abundance that I deserve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now again, remember some of the things I've said about dealing with that subconscious resistance to change. So there may be an aspect of you under any one of these areas of concern that needs to be neutralized because you're pushing him or her out of its comfort zone. So work with that angle as well. Okay, thank you.